Hey guys, how you doing? My name is Lena. Welcome back to another video. So last year I already did this type of video and I'm going to repeat it this year. Honestly, I'm dreading it inside because it's going to be so fucking long, and I also don't feel like grabbing the books right now, so it's going to be a pain in the ass to edit later. Sorry, me from the future. Sorry. I'm going to overview very fast all the 2022 releases that I read last year. So there were quite a few. Honestly, I'm usually a girl who reads like the back catalog, but no. Last year I decided to read so many fucking new releases, and now it's fucking biting me in the ass now. Fantastic. So I'm going to talk about them in order of publication. We're going to start with January. I'm not going to separate them, but these are definitely in an order. So let's just get started. The first one, The Chosen 12. This is a sci-fi. This is a sci-fi book, kind of dystopian, about a group of kids that are basically sent to start life on a new planet, and they're being trained and such. I quite enjoyed it. I did not love it. I ended up giving it like 3.5. Felt too young for me, but it was still like a very much like kind of Lord of the Flies. Pretty enjoyable. Then I read How High We Go in the Dark, which is another sci-fi, but it's very like literally more melancholic type of read. I quite enjoyed it. I would recommend it if you like something like Station 11. Probably the one for you. I also gave it like 4 stars. Then we have Insomnia, which is a thriller. Sarah Pinborough, the same author as Behind Her Eyes. I love Behind Her Eyes. I wasn't a huge fan of this one. Even though the story in itself was cool, I just really like everything that has to do with sleep. I just didn't vibe with the story that much. But yeah, overall it was pretty good. Then we have Age of Ash, which is by the same author, well, one of the co-authors of The Expanse, Daniel Abraham. It's my first time reading one of his books, and I enjoyed it, but it was a little bit too lyrical for me. But the setup, the atmosphere was fantastic. So if you like that type of fantasy story, I will recommend it. If not, maybe you should pass on it. Then The Justice of Kings, my biggest disappointment of the year. So if you were expecting something different, I'm sorry, but I thoroughly didn't enjoy this book. It was a cool fantasy concept. For me, the main character was butcher on page after page after page. It was so dumb. It hurt my soul. I will still give a chance to book 2 when it comes out. I think it's in March, something there, March, February, somewhere there. But I'll give it a chance, another chance, and we'll see. But just, yeah, it didn't hit the mark for me. I gave it like 3 stars, but the character work was horrible. Then Mickey 7, if you're looking for a light, fun sci-fi adventure, definitely this one. It's about clones, and it has like this typical question like, who is more you of the previous clone or the next clone? That type of stuff. If you're looking for a very light sci-fi read, this one is for you. Then we have Dead Silence, which is a sci-fi horror I was really excited for last year, and it was kind of disappointed to me. Like, it got more disappointed after the months went by, but it's not a bad book by any means. So if you're looking for some paranormal type of read set on a spaceship basically, definitely check out this one. I ended up giving it like 3 stars. Then Legends and Lattes, if you're looking for something nice and heartwarming, check out this one. It's very short, very sweet. I gave it 4 stars. If you're looking for something like very cute, check out this one. I'm for sure, I think for sure everyone has read this one already, but still, give it a chance. It's just so cool. Then Manhunt. This book, holy shit, made me want to throw up so many times. It was so visceral. Basically, men were like poisoned. It was like, or was it genetic? I think it was genetic. But they had like this type of disease. They went feral. They tried to attack everyone. This is the book about killing turfs. Fucking great. I give it 4 stars. I still love the cover. It's fucking amazing. But yeah, check it out. It's just it's just great. But it's very visceral. So keep that in mind. Then The Paradox Hotel is another like cool sci-fi with time travel. I really liked it overall, but the ending fell flat for me. Too cookie cutter, but everything leading to that, great. When the pieces fell into place, fantastic. The story overall, great. But just be minded that the ending is a little bit, oh yeah, everything is fine, which felt a little bit flat for me. But yeah, I give it 4 stars, like great overall. Then a Magic Steeping Poison. I read this one quite recently and I love the concept of it. The magic is based around tea and tea making. It's so cool, man. It's so cool. But it's basically about this girl trying to kind of clean their family's name, and she enters this competition to become part of the emperor's household or something like that. I don't remember exactly the position it was, but it has like this competition aspect that if you liked it, you will enjoy it. There's a romance here that I wasn't a huge fan of, but the rest was pretty cool and I will still recommend it. I give it like 4 stars. It's just around the middle there. The City of Dusk. I read this book twice last year because I still don't understand what happened. Like, there's so much going on. It's set on the City of Dusk, which is a place where now magic is gone. And you have like these, you're going to follow like the different daughters and sons of the different like great houses that are trying to kind of bring magic back. That's the story overall, but everyone like has like their own motives, so it's just so fucking convoluted. There's so much, so many people. I still need to read it a 3rd time to just grasp everything. Like, it's just so much. The second time around I gave it 4 stars. Like, it's cool, the book is cool, but there's so much going on. It's something like watching Dark. Like, you need like something there to keep you like on the ground. Well, the same with this one. I'll probably need to read it again. Then The Nice House on the Lake, Volume 1. Love this graphic novel. Love it till death. Like, oh, one of my favorites now. Love it. I cannot wait for Volume 2. This year I gave it 5 stars. It was fucking amazing. The Kaiju Preservation Society, a new book by John Scalzi. I wasn't a huge fan of his books when I read Old Men's War. Yes, I don't like that one, but I love the interdependency, so I decided to give him another chance, and I actually really like this one. The humor was on point for me. I'm not someone who loves humor in books, but in this one, it actually works so well. So I will still recommend it. It's about taking care of fucking kaijus, which, if you don't know, Godzilla, that's a kaiju. So it was really fun. Honestly, it was just so much fun. I give it 4 stars. Then we have Kingdoms of Death, which is the 4th book in the Sunnier series. Amazing. This series is just fucking great. In general, I give this one 5 stars. It was so good. Oh, I loved learning more about the seal scene in this one so much. It was completely set on the world, the fucking aliens. I fucking loved it. Try this series already, please. Just try. I cannot find this enough. Like, just do it. Then Sandet's Daughter, the most bizarre book that I read last year. It makes no sense. It still is a good book, but it's so bizarre. Like, it's just, if you like something like Gideon the Ninth, which is so over the top with everything, like it's just so over the top, you will probably really like this. Like, it's just bizarre, over the top, campy. It's just all of those stuff mixed into like this necromancy setup. Like, it's a lot. It's a lot. You're going to follow a family of necromancers. Some of them are like kind of assassins because they can actually like play with necromancy, but they are killers. And then we have one that can resurrect dead. It's just so much. The premise at the beginning feels like so easy to follow, then it's just so convoluted. It's such a convoluted world. Like, everything is different, even the calendar, and they have like their own explanation, even the fucking beverages. Oh man, so much into this novel, but I will still recommend it. It's just so much fun, but it's just so weird. So weird. The Discord of Gods, which was the final book in the Curse of Dragons, which was a little bit disappointing to me, even though it was one of my favorite series. Sadly, the last 2 books did not work for me. I do have to say that this one I liked more than book 4, but it still fell flat for me, which makes me so sad. You can even imagine. Like, every time that I look at the series, which is right there, I'm just looking at it like that. I'm just looking at them like, Like, I'm so sad and mad. Though I have to say, I feel like I need like a reread of them all and see how I actually feel. Like after rereading all of them. I ended up giving it like 3 stars. But yeah. Then we have the Jade Setter of Janloon, which is a novella set on the Green Bone saga. And well, the Green Bone saga universe. And it was great. I love it. I loved coming back into this world after so much suffering. But I love it. Lang even has an appearance here and it was so cool, man. I loved it so much. But yeah, overall I would still recommend this one. It's super short and sweet. Highly recommend it. I give it 4.5 stars. Then we have Nettle and Bone, which I read as part of the book club. I almost said fly show, but no, book club. And I enjoyed it, but I didn't love it. It's a dark fantasy, more like a fairy tale, like a dark fairy tale. So if you like that type of vibe, you're probably going to really like it. But it didn't quite work out 100% for me because I thought it was going to be more dark fantasy or horror than dark fairy tale. But still, I would really recommend it. I give it like 3.5 out of 5 stars, but most of the people really enjoyed it. So definitely check it out. Under Fortunate Stars is a cool, like, sci-fi kind of time travel book. Again, when every piece falls together, it's just super satisfying. But it's basically about these 2 ships that end up in this kind of a shared space that is outside time, kind of, and they find the crew of the ship that actually in their time saved like humanity and the aliens, but they are just like some kind of mercenaries, and it's just so weird. But I just really liked it. I found it so fun. It also has like different elements, like a little bit of horror, mystery, you know, pure sci-fi. It was great. Highly recommended. I gave it 4 stars. Then An End to Sorrow, which was the final book in the Obsidian Path trilogy by Michael Fletcher. Dark fantasy. I highly recommend it. I think it was a super cool like ending to a trilogy. Amazing, super satisfying, though I have to say my favorite one is still the first book. God, I'm already tired and I'm only halfway through this. Siren Queen, I actually really liked it. It's set on the golden era of Hollywood and how POC actors like try to get in, but it has like fantasy elements to it. I just really liked it. Also queer representation, which is amazing. But I really liked it, even though I just don't really like the old Hollywood vibe. But I really liked it overall. I gave it 4 stars. The Stardust Thief was one of the greatest surprises that I got last year. It took me a bit to get into it after I bought it, but when I read it, I was super happy. I actually have it here. The Stardust Thief. I actually really liked it. I would highly recommend it. Desert fantasy, genes that are actually cool and evil and creepy. 100% would recommend it. I gave it 4.5 stars. Then we have Equinox, which was a little bit disappointing. But the concept of it was great. Basically, like 2 different personalities inhabit the same body, but one's only interacts at night and one only interacts at night. But the main plot line was a little bit boring to me. It didn't like have much to it, but the concept of it was fantastic. I gave it like 3 stars. Then we have Hide, which honestly I should have included. Did I include it on my most disappointed books of the year? I was expecting not so much, but more from it. It's a mystery horror book set on an abandoned amusement park. But it completely fell flat. Like, it was just so boring at the end. Even though I love slasher books. We know this already. But I gave it like 2.5 stars. It just was just so meh. Then Silk Hills, which was a graphic novel that came out last year. It's a horror graphic novel, but it's very colorful. It's very weird. It has moths. I hate moths with a passion. I didn't enjoy this. I gave it like 3 stars just because the art was great, but the story very confusing, very hard to follow. I just wasn't on board with it. House of Lore Volume 1, which is the spin-off series for Something is Killing the Children, which is one of my favorite graphic novels of all time. It's amazing. I actually really like learning the story behind this character that shows up for like 10 pages in the other series, but I was pretty invested. I have also read Volume 2 now, which came out this year. Supposedly it didn't come out until March, but it has already arrived at my house last week. And I've already read it, and I didn't like that one as much, but this first volume was great. I give it like 4 stars. if I'm not mistaken. I think so. The Knave of Secrets is a great political intrigue / mystery fantasy, but it's too short and the story does not have enough time to develop, so I gave it 3 stars just for that alone, because the concept, the story was great, but as I've told you, it's just too short. The book is like this, like I don't even think that it has 300 pages, so definitely too short, but the idea was there. I will definitely check out more books by the author. Then the Voidwalker Collection, I read this for a review asked by the author. I quite enjoyed it. I didn't love it, but if you're looking for something like weird that will mess around with your head, you will probably really like it. Though I have to say I liked the mystery part the best at the beginning, and then it kind of just lost my interest towards the end when everything got resolved. Like with most mysteries, what can one do? But yeah, I give it like 3.75, 4 stars. The complete kind of omnibus, like it was like 8 novellas just into 1 volume, so quite enjoyed it. I would recommend it. Then In the Shadow of Lightning, one of the books that saved my reading last year, is another book by Brian McClellan, which is one of my favorite authors, and I love this one as much as the first trilogy, like the Powder Mage trilogy. Really liked it. I will highly recommend it. Then Speaking Bones, the best book that I read last year, best series that I've read in my fucking life. Not going to comment anything else. 5 stars, fucking amazing. If you have not read the fucking Grace of Kings yet, the Dandelion Dynasty, what are you waiting for? What are you waiting for? Click off of this video. Just close it. Get off the fucking internet. Just go read the Grace of Kings. It's amazing. Then The Pain Eater. I read this as an ARC also, and it's a horror book dealing with grief. In that aspect I liked, but I don't think it's the book for me. It was also pretty gross, and I hate when the gross has to do with animals. I don't handle that well. I fucking hate it. I hate it. Sorry, if you're an author and you're contacting me to read your book and your book has animal death, I'm not going to enjoy it. I'm sorry. I fucking hate it. I hate it in movies, in games. I fucking suffer so much during fucking God of War 2 because it has so much animal death. Ugh, so annoying. And I cannot handle it. But overall, I think it's worth giving it a try. I gave it 3 stars. If you're looking for a horror, like melancholy type of read, definitely check it out. Upgrade by Blake Crouch, my worst book of the year, along with the Atlas 6. I didn't like it at all. The most forgettable book I've read in a long time, and it's by one of my favorite authors, which made the blow even harder. So yeah, we're over this one. Juniper and Thorne. This is also a dark fantasy, but it's more in the same vibe as Nettle and Bone than a dark fantasy. It's more of a dark fairy tale vibe, something along the lines of House of Salt and Sorrows, like very atmospheric, very dark in general. The ending is fucking dark though. Check it out. I give it like 4 stars. I really enjoyed it. I listened to it like in 1 or 2 sittings. In general, it was great, so I will recommend it. Flakes of Mira, a very surprising magic system. Just for that alone deserves a read. Like, you have like magma and ice, which is something that I find like very cool. Like, it's not just like, oh my god, it's fire and water. It has like a level to it. But there's an aspect of it that I didn't like when they flee the city. That there's also like a questionable love interest here, which I wasn't really comfortable with. But we'll see in book 2. We'll see in book 2. Then we have Dreadgod, which is the 11th book in the Cradle. I fucking loved it. We know this already. I gave it 5 stars. Read the Cradle. Read the Cradle. Just do it. Then the first binding, another disappointment for me. I was hoping for so much of this book, but it ended up just being too little substance, too much writing. Like, honestly, it should have been shorter, and it would have been so much more enjoyable. I really doubt that I will read book 2. I ended up giving it 3 stars. It's not a bad book, but there's so much like lyrical style in this writing, and it's just not for me. And I just don't enjoy it. And too little plot for too much like adorn in the writing style. I just not for me. Then the Bookkeepers, I didn't give this one a rating because I don't think I'm smart enough for this book. No, but really, it caught me by surprise. It wasn't what I was expecting, so I'm still very confused by it. I will read it again and then just make up my mind, but it was so weird, like so weird. Then Babel by, I almost said ML1, by R.F. Kwang. The new book by the author of The Poppy War. I liked it, but didn't love it. Like, a lot of people love this book to death. I didn't love it. I liked it, like I enjoyed it, but I didn't love it. I feel like at times it was like too smart ass for me, and it was a little bit annoying. I was just like, yes, I know you're fucking like really smart and all, but stop it. But yeah, I'll definitely read it again because I feel like I didn't grasp the ending as I hope I would. So I'll probably just reread it again this year. Then Cloning a Cornfield 2. Dude, I love slasher horror books. It's just my new favorite thing, along with graphic horror novels. With horror graphic novels? Graphic horror novels? What? Horror graphic novels. And I don't know, I just liked it. I already loved like the first book when it came out. I read it in one sitting, and I read the first one and read the second one. I still love them both. 4 stars to each one of them. Super solid slasher. Then we have Direwood, which was one of the worst books that I read last year. It was so bad. Like, the concept was kind of cool, a bit cheesy, you know. A vampire kidnaps this girl in this town, and he makes a deal with her, like if she doesn't want to stay with him in X amount of days, he will release her, but he's convinced that she's gonna ask him to stay with him. And I should have known better, yes, but I don't know, the covers looked great, and I wanted like something horror-y but dark, and it had like one scary scene. The rest was just so dumb. I didn't like it. I give it 2 stars. Then Into the Riverlands, which is a book 4 in the Singing Hills cycle, the 4th novella. I really liked it. I feel like it's the most like different one from the rest. It had like a little bit of like scary part in there that I wasn't expecting. But yeah, I really liked it. I will highly recommend that you check out this series. Like, it's just like those type of kind of feel good books. It's just, no, I don't know, it just has something. It's super good. Then Thank God It's Friday is a companion of 4 short stories, which surprised me so much. I really liked it a lot. I read it in one sitting. I was so happy with it, and especially the first story is just super cool. It's about a train station that keeps people in there and they are never allowed to leave. I don't know, it just came at the right time. I just really liked it. I give it like 4.5 stars. The Silence of Unworthy Gods by Andrew Rowe, book 4 in the Arcane Station. I give it 5 stars just because of the ending alone. It was so fucking good, man. So fucking good. I was so happy with it. The beginning was more like 4 stars, but the ending, oh my god, I cannot wait for book 5. I need it so badly. Then Something is Killing the Children, volume 5, which is volume 5 and Something is Killing the Children. Yeah, my brain is no longer working. But this is one of my favorite graphic novels. I said it, did I say it in this video or in the next video? I don't know. I just really liked it in general. It was great. I think I'm just so invested in this series that I just want more volumes. Thankfully, volume 6 is coming out very soon. Then The Alchemy of Sorrow, which is a companion of short stories about grief and sorrow. Pretty depressing, but worth a read. Definitely check it out. I give it 4 stars. I do have my favorites and sub-stories that I was just like, okay. But overall, definitely check it out. Then third to last, Crystal Awakening, another book set in the Arcane Station world, but it's written by a different author. I really liked it. Oh my god, this dummy is here. Aladrax! Wait, I'll show him to you. Just let me finish. Crystal Awakening, I liked it. I didn't like it as much as the Arcane Ascension, but the fact that this is just more focused on climbing the... Stop it! On climbing the spires made it like pretty cool and different from the rest of the series. So I would recommend it if you like that part of Arcane Ascension more than the rest of the story. I give it 4 stars. Then Woe to the Victor, which is a hard sci-fi that I've read almost at the end of the year. For this one, I did a written review and I also published it on Instagram, if I'm not mistaken. I really liked it. It's set on this huge, gigantic battle for Earth. And I just really liked it in general. I gave it 4 stars. Definitely check it out if you like more hard sci-fi. And the last one, wait, I have it here. It's Dark Mind by Vile Neil. This equal to Dark Apprentice, which I read last year and loved. And the same with this one. I gave it 4.5. I really liked it. It was just so good. The relationship between these two in this one was amazing. If you like character-driven stories, check out this fucking series because it's great. The Fall of Magic is what the series is called. I never said it, but it's called The Fall of Magic, and you need to check it out. It's great. You know what? I'm done. I'm tired. Those were all the new releases that I read from 2022. Have you read any of these? Which was your favorite new release from 2022? For me, I'm going to go with The Nice House on the Lake. It was such a huge discovery. I just loved that graphic novel so much. But yeah, which one is yours? Just let me know down in the comments below. And as always, I will see you in the next one. Bye!